She-Hulk episode 8 just dropped on Disney Plus. Let's talk about it. And I am gonna say I really enjoyed this episode. Spoilers, of course. But the myth, the legend we've been waiting for, Daredevil, finally shows up in this episode. But let's get into the plot. So the plot of this episode is Frogman, which is just great that fucking Frogman's in the show. But or just in the MCU in general. Anyways, Frogman's here, and Frogman is going to Jen, and he's like, hey man, or hey lady, I guess. I lose my mind. And saying like, look, I got your tailor that you go to. I'm gonna sue him because he sold me a faulty suit. Of course, it turns out he's an idiot and he used the suit improperly, and so he lost the lawsuit, and then turns out to be a super villain. But what's funny is in the Taylor's case, though, we get Matt Murdock showing up, and he comes in and immediately starts off with a joke, which I think is going to turn a lot of people off because people really don't want joke Daredevil. Like, not to say that Daredevil's a joke, but people don't really want like the humorous side to that character being shown in Marvel at all. They're just pissed off by that, and I don't really get it because he's still Daredevil in this episode. He just has more of a sense of humor that I think the character has always had, whether it be in the comics or in the show. It was just more of a dry sense of humor. Like it wasn't as apparent as it is in this episode, but it was apparent in the comics, you know. And so I just think that like it's fine. And as long as there's still a darker and grittier tone to the character, which I think there is in this episode, you look at the way he's shot, you look at the way the character looks, you know, you look at his you look at him talking about how he goes into warehouses a lot and beats up bad guys, you know, that kind of darker edge of the character. His humor comes from his darker edge. So I think it works. And yeah, I just really like seeing him. So and then you know, like them stopping him. And then we get to the end of this episode where some guy or something is streaming at this She-Hulk event where she's about to win an award for Lawyer of the Year. And she goes full Hulk mode, goes crazy because, I mean, bad stuff's going on. He's exposing her. And yeah, so, I mean, most of the excitement comes with this episode of Daredevil being involved, but now we're also dealing with the kind of like setup for the season finale, which comes out next week. So that's exciting because I really, really enjoyed this episode. It's probably my favorite episode of the series because I feel like this is what the episode should have been, which is that she's dealing with the court case. And yes, there's humor in the episode, but the court case is what happens first and prominently, and it also leads into kind of some superhero action, right? So when she teams up with Daredevil and they find the supervillain, cool. I feel like, you know, to me the court case is like, why do I care about an elf lady going to court because she impersonated a celebrity and he had sex with that celebrity that she was impersonating? I don't know. It's just weird. I think that these, you know, this is what the show should have been, but unfortunately it kind of wasn't. And that doesn't mean it's a bad show. I still really enjoy the show. I think the show's actually a lot of fun. But I do agree with some of the somewhat negative, leaning on just okay kind of criticism. And I'm not like one of those people like out there just talking shit about it all day, you know? Because, oh my god, Marvel has a show starring a woman. Can't have that. Thanks, fucking chuds.